The human exploration fleet drifted through the Tarantus Nebula like ships lost in fog. The glowing clouds made everything look strange and beautiful. Colors swirled around the vessels in shades of purple, blue, and green. It would have been peaceful if not for what was about to happen. On the flagship bridge, Admiral Taeyang Kim sat calmly in his command chair. Around him, officers worked at their stations. Everything looked normal. But underneath the calm surface, everyone was tense. They knew what was coming. "Sir, we are at the planned position," the navigation officer reported. Taeyang nodded. "Full stop. Hold position. Activate the decoy drones." Throughout the fleet, cargo bays opened. 30 drone ships flew out, moving into formation around the real vessels. To any observer, the human fleet had just doubled in size. The drones looked perfect, like exact copies of real warships. Lieutenant Jinwoo Choi watched his intelligence display. "Sir, Velkari communications are increasing. They see us. They are preparing to attack." "How long until they commit?" Taeyang asked. 10 minutes, maybe less. "Overlord Thraxus is giving final orders to his fleet." "Good. Commander Park, are our reinforcements ready?" Commander Yuna Park studied her tactical display. It showed the hidden human ships in 3 groups positioned outside the nebula. "All carrier groups report ready, sir. They are waiting for your signal. Tell them to prepare for jump in 5 minutes. Coordinate timing precisely. I want all 90 ships to arrive simultaneously." "Yes, sir." Far across the nebula, aboard the Velkari flagship, Overlord Thraxus stood before his own tactical display. He was a large creature, nearly 7 feet tall, with gray skin and 4 arms. His species had conquered 12 worlds. Humans would be number 13. "The humans are in position," his tactical officer reported. "They are holding still. They appear to be scanning the area." Thraxus smiled, showing rows of sharp teeth. "Of course they are scanning. They are blind and confused. The nebula blocks their primitive sensors. They have no idea we are here. Should we attack now, Overlord? Patience. Let them settle. Let them relax. When they think they are safe, we strike. Give the order. All ships to battle stations. Attack in 5 minutes." Orders went out to 52 Velkari warships. Weapons powered up. Shields activated. Engines warmed to full power. Thousands of Velkari warriors prepared for battle, confident in their certain victory. Back on the human flagship, Jinwoo suddenly looked up. "Sir, encrypted channel opening." "It is coming from the Velkari flagship." Taeyang raised an eyebrow. "They are calling us?" "Yes, sir. Overlord Thraxus wants to speak with you." "How interesting. Put him on screen." The main view screen activated. Thraxus appeared, his 4 arms crossed over his chest. He looked very pleased with himself. "Human Admiral," Thraxus said in accented but understandable English. "I am Overlord Thraxus of the Velkari Dominion. I wanted to speak with you before I destroy your fleet." Taeyang remained perfectly calm. "That is very courteous of you, Overlord. May I ask why you plan to destroy us? We have done nothing to harm your people. You entered our space. You represent a new species. We must test all new species to determine their strength. You will understand it is simply policy." "I see. And you believe you can destroy 30 human ships with your fleet?" Thraxus laughed. "Believe? I know I can. I have 52 warships surrounding your position. You are trapped and blind. Your weapons are weak. Your shields are inadequate. We have studied you carefully, human. This will be over quickly." "Studied us carefully," Taeyang repeated. "Yes, I thought you might have. Tell me, Overlord, how long have you been watching us?" 3 months. My surveillance drones recorded everything. I know your tactics, your response times, your weapons capability. You have no surprises for me." "No surprises," Taeyang said softly. He glanced at Yuna, who nodded. Everything was in position. "Overlord Thraxus, I am afraid I must correct you. We have several surprises." "What are you talking about?" "First surprise. We found your surveillance drones 3 months ago. We have known about your plan this entire time." Thraxus stopped smiling. "Impossible." "Second surprise. Everything you learned about us was deliberately false. We showed you what we wanted you to see. Our weapons are much more powerful than you think. Our shields are much stronger. Our response times are much faster." Thraxus leaned forward. "You are lying. Trying to make me hesitate." Third surprise. "You have 52 ships. We have 90. They are dropping out of faster-than-light travel right now." At that exact moment, space around the nebula tore open. 3 carrier groups emerged from jump, arriving in perfect formation. 90 human warships surrounded the Velkari fleet in a complete sphere. Every escape route was blocked. Thraxus stared at his tactical display in shock. His ships were surrounded. The hunters had become the hunted. Fourth surprise, Taeyang continued calmly. We have been inside your communication network for 2 months. We know your fleet composition, your command structure, your planned tactics. We know everything about you, Overlord Thraxus. You have no surprises for us. To prove his point, Taeyang nodded to Jinwoo. The lieutenant transmitted detailed files to the Velkari flagship. Ship names, captain names, weapon specifications, shield frequencies, everything. Thraxus read the information with growing horror. It was all accurate. The humans knew everything. Fifth surprise, Taeyang said. We know how to see through this nebula. Our sensors work perfectly. Your sensors do not. You are the ones who are blind, not us. On cue, human ships activated their advanced scanning systems. They lit up every Velkari vessel with targeting lasers. Red beams crossed the nebula, painting targets on enemy hulls. The message was clear. We can see you perfectly. We can hit you whenever we want. Sixth surprise, Taeyang continued. Half the ships you see in our original fleet are empty drones. We were never in the location you thought we were. You would have been shooting at metal boxes while we flanked you from all sides. The decoy drones deactivated on command. They went dark and drifted away, revealing themselves as hollow shells. The real human warships were in completely different positions, perfectly placed for attack. Thraxus was no longer smiling. His four hands gripped his command chair. This is a trick, no Overlord. This is preparation. You spent 3 months watching us. We spent 3 months preparing for you. You wanted to test humanity. Congratulations, you succeeded. But the test did not go the way you expected. Taeyang stood from his chair. His voice remained calm, but there was steel underneath. You are surrounded. You are outnumbered. Your sensors are blind. Your communications are compromised. Your tactical advantage is gone. You have exactly 1 chance to survive this encounter. Surrender now. Never. Thraxus roared. Velkari do not surrender? All ships, attack! Destroy them. The Velkari fleet opened fire. Missiles launched. Energy weapons discharged. Thousands of projectiles crossed the nebula toward human positions. Activate electronic warfare, Taeyang ordered. Engineer Minho Song pressed a button. Systems he had spent months building activated across the human fleet. Invisible waves of disruption spread outward, jamming every Velkari sensor and targeting computer. The Velkari missiles went wild. Without guidance, they spun off target and exploded harmlessly in empty space. Energy weapons fired at wrong angles, hitting nothing. The entire Velkari attack failed completely. They are blind, Yuna reported. Their targeting systems are completely jammed. Return fire, Taeyang ordered. Precision strikes only. Disable, do not destroy. Target engines and weapons systems. Human weapons fired with perfect accuracy. Each shot was calculated to disable, not kill. Velkari engines exploded. Weapon batteries went dark. Shield generators overloaded. Within minutes, 15 Velkari ships were dead in space, unable to fight or flee. On the Velkari flagship, panic spread. Officers shouted reports. Systems failed. Thraxus stood frozen, unable to believe what was happening. Overlord, his tactical officer cried. We cannot target them. Our sensors show nothing, but they hit us with every shot. Thraxus watched his fleet crumble. Ships went dark one by one. The battle was not a battle at all. It was a demonstration. The humans were showing him exactly how outmatched he was. His communication screen reactivated. Admiral Taeyang appeared again, still calm. Overlord Thraxus, I will ask one more time, surrender, your ships are disabled. Your warriors are defeated. There is no shame in recognizing superior preparation. You can survive this day, or you can die meaninglessly. Choose. Thraxus looked at his tactical display. 30 of his 52 ships were disabled. The others were surrounded by enemies they could not even see properly. He had no options left. His perfect ambush had become his perfect defeat. Slowly, his forearms lowered. His head bowed. The word tasted like poison in his mouth, but he spoke it anyway. We surrender. The Tarantus Nebula was silent. The battle, if it could even be called a battle, was over. 47 Velkari warships drifted powerless in the glowing clouds. Their engines were dead. Their weapons were offline. Their crews waited nervously to learn their fate. Only 5 Velkari ships had refused to surrender. Their captains were zealots who chose death over dishonor. Human forces had destroyed those ships quickly and cleanly. Everyone else was alive but captured. Admiral Taeyang Kim stood on his bridge watching the aftermath. Around him, officers worked to secure the situation. Marine teams were boarding Valkyrie vessels to take formal custody of the crews. Medical teams were treating wounded, both human and alien. The humans had taken some damage, but nothing serious. 3 ships had minor hull breaches. 12 people were injured. Nobody died. For a battle against 52 enemy warships, it was an incredible result. Sir, Overlord Thraxus is requesting to speak with you again, Lieutenant Jinwoo Choi reported. Put him on screen, Taeyang said. The view screen activated. Thraxus looked very different now. His confidence was gone. His forearms hung limply at his sides. He looked tired and old. Admiral Kim, Thraxus said quietly, I wish to formally surrender my fleet. What are your terms? The terms are simple, Taeyang replied. Your crews will be treated as prisoners of war under human military law. That means you will be fed, sheltered, and given medical care. You will not be tortured or experimented on. You will not be killed. When negotiations with your government are complete, you will be returned home. Thraxus looked surprised. You will not keep us as slaves? You will not study us? No, we do not do such things. You attacked us, but we do not believe in cruelty or revenge. You are soldiers who followed orders. We will treat you with respect. I do not understand, Thraxus said slowly. You have total victory. You could do anything you want to us. Why show mercy? Taeyang considered the question. Because mercy is strength, not weakness. We wanted to show you our military capabilities. We have done that. But we also want to show you our values. Humans believe in honor, even toward enemies. Perhaps especially toward enemies. Thraxus was quiet for a long moment. May I ask how you knew about my surveillance? How did you find my drones? We have excellent intelligence officers. Lieutenant Choi detected the first drone 3 months ago. After that, we tracked all of them. And you said nothing. You continued as normal. You let us think our plan was working. Yes, we needed you confident. Confident enemies make mistakes. You told us everything we needed to know by preparing your ambush. The weaknesses you showed us. The poor drills, the slow response times. All false? All false. We knew you were watching, so we gave you the performance you wanted to see. We are actually much better at war than we appeared, but we hope never to prove it again. War is wasteful and sad even when you win. Thraxus shook his head slowly. My government told me humans were weak, primitive, easy prey for testing. I believed them. I was wrong. Many species make that mistake, Taeyang said. They see that we are young compared to other space-traveling civilizations. They assume young means weak, but humans have been fighting wars for thousands of years. We are very, very good at it. We simply prefer not to. I see that now. Thraxus looked directly at Taeyang. Admiral, may I speak honestly? Of course. You could have killed all of us. Your weapons were precise enough. You disabled our ships instead. Why? Because killing you would not have taught you anything. Dead enemies cannot learn, cannot change, cannot return home and tell others what they witnessed. You are more valuable alive than dead. You want us to tell others about this defeat. Not just the defeat. The whole story. How we were patient. How we prepared. How we turned your trap against you. And most importantly, how we treated you with honor after victory. That story will spread throughout the galaxy. Other species will hear it. They will think carefully before testing humanity. Understanding dawned on Thraxus's face. This entire battle was a message. Yes, a message to the galaxy. Humanity is not weak. We are not victims. But we are not monsters either. We defend ourselves with overwhelming force, then offer mercy. That is who we are. Thraxus bowed his head. I will tell your story, Admiral. Every word of it. You have my promise, and thank you, Overlord. Now please cooperate with our Marines. They will escort you and your crews to secure facilities. You will be treated well. The screen went dark. Taeyang sat back in his chair, feeling suddenly tired. The tension of 3 months was finally releasing. They had done it. The plan had worked perfectly. Commander Yuna Park approached him. Sir, all Valkyrie vessels are secured. Prisoners are being transferred. No additional casualties on either side. Excellent work, Commander. You planned this battle brilliantly. It was a team effort, sir. Everyone played their part. Taeyang stood and addressed the bridge crew. I want to thank all of you. For 3 months, you maintained perfect operational security. You performed fake drills that made you look foolish. knowing it was necessary. You trusted the plan even when it seemed risky. You did everything right. I am proud to serve with you. The crew erupted in applause. People were hugging, shaking hands, crying with relief. The stress of the last 3 months poured out in celebration. Later that day, Taeyang gathered his senior staff for a final meeting. Yuna, Jinwoo, Minho, and Hana sat around the table, all of them exhausted but happy. Earth Command is very pleased, Taeyang reported. They are calling it the greatest military intelligence operation in human history. They want to study our methods and apply them throughout the fleet. What about the Velkari government? Jinwoo asked. They have requested immediate negotiations. They are very embarrassed. They did not expect their test to fail so completely. They are offering reparations and a peace treaty. Will we accept? Yuna asked. Yes. We did not fight this battle to make enemies. We fought to gain respect. The Velkari now respect us. That was the goal. We will make peace, return their warriors, and continue our exploration mission. Minho raised his glass. To patience and preparation. To intelligence over strength, Hana added. To honor and victory, Jinwoo said. They all drank together. A team that had accomplished something remarkable. A week later, the human fleet escorted the disabled Velkari vessels to a neutral diplomatic station. The Velkari prisoners were healthy and well treated. Many of them seemed surprised by human kindness. They had expected cruelty. At the station, diplomats from both species began formal negotiations. The Velkari were humble and apologetic. They admitted their mistake. They recognized humanity as equals, even as superiors in some ways. They agreed never to test humans again. News of the battle spread quickly through the galaxy. Other species heard the story and reacted with shock. The humans, those young primitive newcomers, had defeated a major military power with almost no casualties. They had turned an ambush into a triumph through intelligence and planning. More importantly, humans had shown mercy to defeated enemies. That was unusual in galactic politics. Most species were cruel to prisoners. Humans were kind. That kindness, combined with their demonstrated military skill, earned them tremendous respect. Several species that had been considering testing humanity changed their minds. Why risk it? The humans were clearly dangerous when provoked, but peaceful when left alone. Better to approach them with respect than force. Back on the human flagship, Taeyang received a personal message from Earth. It was from the President herself. Admiral Kim, your actions have changed humanity's standing in the galaxy. You showed the universe who we are. Patient, prepared, honorable. You represent the best of us. Thank you. Come home soon. The whole planet wants to celebrate you. Taeyang smiled at the message, but he had no plans to go home yet. The exploration mission was not finished. There were still stars to see, planets to map, species to meet. He called his crew together one final time before they resumed their journey. We came out here to explore, he told them. To learn about the galaxy and represent humanity. We got distracted by a battle, but the battle is over. Now we go back to our real mission. There is so much to discover, so much to learn. Who knows what we will find? The crew cheered. They were explorers, not warriors. They were happy to return to peaceful work. As the fleet prepared to depart, Taeyang stood at his window looking out at the stars. Somewhere out there, the story of the Tarantis Nebula was spreading. Humans had proven themselves. They had earned their place in the galaxy, but more than that, they had shown what kind of species they wanted to be. Strong but merciful, capable but restrained, victorious but honorable. That was the real message of this battle. Not just that humans could win, but how they chose to win. The exploration fleet jumped to faster than light speed, leaving the Tarantis Nebula behind. Ahead lay countless star systems, unexplored worlds, and unknown species. The universe was vast and full of mysteries, but now everyone knew one thing for certain. Humanity was ready for whatever came next. They had been tested and they had passed. Not with violence, but with intelligence. Not with cruelty, but with honor. They had planned the perfect response to the perfect trap. And in doing so, they had changed the galaxy forever. 1 month remained. The human reinforcements were arriving, but not in any way the Velkari could detect. Each carrier group took a different route through space. They moved slowly, hiding behind planets and inside asteroid fields. They powered down their engines and drifted like debris. Admiral Taeyang Kim watched them gather on his secret displays. The quantum communicators let him see everything the Velkari could not. Ship by ship, his force was growing. Soon he would have the largest human fleet ever assembled in one place. But first, his officers needed to know the plan. Taiyang called a meeting on his flagship. This time, every captain and commander attended. The room was large enough to hold 200 people. It was also completely sealed from outside sensors. When everyone was seated, Taiyang stood at the front. Behind him, a massive hologram showed the Tarantus Nebula and the Velkari fleet hiding inside. "Thank you all for coming," he began. "What I am about to tell you is classified at the highest level. You cannot discuss this outside this room. You cannot even think about it where surveillance might exist." He had their complete attention. 200 pairs of eyes watched him carefully. "For 3 months we have been watched by the Velkari Dominion. They have studied our tactics, our weapons, our weaknesses. They think they know everything about us. They are planning an ambush in this nebula." He pointed to the hologram. Whispers ran through the crowd. Taiyang held up his hand for silence. "We have known about their plan for 2 months. Everything we have done since then has been theater. Poor drills, weak shields, slow responses, all deliberate, all designed to make them confident." Now the whispers turned to surprised laughs. The officers were starting to understand. They expect to fight 30 human ships. They have brought 47 vessels to ensure victory. What they do not know is that we have 90 ships ready to fight, and we know exactly where every single one of their vessels is hiding. The room erupted in applause. Officers were standing, cheering, pumping their fists. Taiyang let them celebrate for a moment before raising his hand again. "But we cannot be careless. The Velkari are dangerous warriors. Their ships are powerful. If we make mistakes, people will die. So we will not make mistakes. We will execute this plan perfectly." He nodded to Commander Yuna Park. Yuna stood and activated her own display. It showed the battle plan in incredible detail. "The original exploration fleet will enter the nebula as scheduled. You will follow your normal patrol route. The Velkari will see you and prepare to attack." She zoomed in on the nebula. "The moment they commit to their attack, the reinforcement groups will drop out of faster-than-light travel here, here, and here." 3 red circles appeared around the nebula. "You will form a sphere around the Velkari position. They will be completely surrounded." "What about their weapons?" someone asked. "Those dreadnoughts carry enough firepower to destroy entire cities." "Which is why timing is critical," Yuna said. "Engineer Song has developed electronic warfare systems that will blind their targeting computers. When we activate these systems, they will not be able to lock weapons on us. They will be shooting blind." Minho Song stood up from his seat. "I have also created special drones that look exactly like our warships. We will deploy these drones first. The Velkari will waste ammunition shooting at empty metal boxes while our real ships get into position." More applause. The officers were impressed by the careful planning. Taiyang took control again. "Every ship has a specific role. You will receive detailed orders tonight. Study them. Memorize them. Practice them in simulation. When the day comes, I need everyone to know exactly what to do without needing to ask questions." He looked around the room, meeting as many eyes as he could. "This is our chance to show the galaxy who we are. The Velkari think we are weak. They think humans are easy prey. We will teach them a lesson they will never forget. But we will do it professionally. No unnecessary casualties, theirs or ours. We are not here to commit murder. We are here to defend ourselves and send a message." What message is that, sir?" a young captain asked. Taiyang smiled. "That humanity is patient, prepared, and absolutely not to be trifled with." The officers left the meeting energized and focused. They returned to their ships and began intense training. Every day they practiced in secret. The simulators ran constantly, showing different versions of the battle. Crews learned their positions, practiced their maneuvers, and timed their responses down to the second. Yuna barely slept. She ran simulation after simulation, looking for problems. What if the Velkari attacked earlier than expected? What if they had more ships? What if their weapons were stronger than intelligence suggested? For every problem she imagined, she created a solution. Lieutenant Jinwoo Choi continued monitoring Velkari communications. Every day new messages arrived. Overlord Thraxus was excited. His reports to his superiors bragged about the coming victory. He had studied the humans carefully. He knew their weaknesses. The ambush would be perfect. Reading these messages, Jinwoo felt almost sorry for Thraxus. The Velkari commander had no idea what was coming. But that sympathy disappeared when he read messages about what the Velkari planned to do with human prisoners. They wanted to study humans like laboratory animals. They wanted to learn human biology so they could develop better weapons. They will not get that chance, Jinwoo muttered to himself. Captain Hana Lee made one final reconnaissance mission. She took the Silent Watcher back to the Tarantis Nebula to confirm nothing had changed. The Velkari fleet was still there, waiting patiently. They had added a few more ships, bringing their total to 52 vessels. Hana reported this to Taiyang immediately. They are more confident than ever, sir. They added reinforcements. They think they have overwhelming force. Good, Taiyang replied. Overconfidence is a weakness. They are too focused on victory to consider defeat. That makes our job easier. 2 weeks before the planned battle, Minho Song completed his electronic warfare systems. He tested them in secret, far from any surveillance. The results were better than expected. When activated, these systems could blind every sensor within 100 kilometers. The Velkari would be completely deaf and blind. He also finished building the drone decoys. They were remarkable pieces of engineering. From the outside, they looked exactly like human warships. They had engines, weapons, shields, everything. The only difference was that nobody was inside. They were remotely controlled from safe distances. How many did you make? Yuna asked, inspecting one in the hangar. 30, Minho said proudly. Enough to confuse them completely. They will think our fleet is in one place while we move to another. By the time they realize they are shooting at empty shells, it will be too late. The final week arrived. The exploration fleet continued its normal patrol, moving slowly toward the nebula. The Velkari drones watched carefully, sending constant updates. Everything was proceeding according to Thraxis's plan. Behind the scenes, human reinforcements were moving into position. 90 ships total, all running silent, all invisible to Velkari sensors. They gathered in neighboring systems, waiting for the signal to jump. Taeyang held one final meeting with his senior staff. Yuna, Jinwoo, Minho, and Hana sat around his table. They looked tired but determined. Tomorrow we enter the nebula, Taeyang said quietly. In 3 days the Velkari will attack. Are we ready? The battle plan is perfect, Yuna said. I have run it 1,000 times. I know every variable, every possibility. We are ready. All systems are functioning perfectly, Minho reported. Electronic warfare is ready. Drones are ready. We are ready. Intelligence shows no changes in enemy disposition, Jinwoo said. They suspect nothing. We are ready. My reconnaissance is complete, Hana added. We know their exact positions. We are ready, Taeyang looked at each of them. These people had worked themselves to exhaustion preparing for this moment. They had done everything possible to ensure success. He was proud of them all. Then let us finish this, he said. The Velkari want to test humanity. Tomorrow they get their test. But the results will not be what they expect. They stood and clasped hands. No more words were needed. They knew what to do. That night, the exploration fleet entered the Tarantis Nebula. Clouds of glowing gas surrounded the ships, beautiful and deadly. The nebula blocked all long-range sensors, just as the Velkari knew it would. The human ships moved slowly forward, apparently blind and helpless. Deep in the nebula, the Velkari fleet watched them come. Overlord Thraxis smiled in his command chair. The trap was working perfectly. The humans were walking straight into it. In 2 days, he would give the order to attack. In 2 days, he would prove Velkari superiority. Or so he thought. Because hidden all around him, in positions he could not detect, 90 human warships waited patiently. The hunters had become the hunted. The trap had been reversed. And Thraxis had no idea at all. 2 months remained until the Velkari ambush. Admiral Taeyang Kim gathered his senior officers in a secret meeting. The room was shielded from all sensors. No signals could enter or leave. What they said here would remain private. We know their plan, Taeyang began. They expect us to be blind and helpless in the Tarantis Nebula. We need to make sure they keep believing that. Commander Unipark nodded. We need to feed them false information. Show them what they want to see. Exactly, Taeyang said. Starting today, we perform for their cameras. Every exercise, every drill, every system test will be carefully planned. We show them ships that are slower than we really are. Shields that are weaker. Weapons that have shorter range. Engineer Minho Song raised his hand. He was the chief engineer, responsible for all the fleet's technology. Sir, if we deliberately perform badly, the crew will notice. They will wonder why systems are not working properly. Then we tell them the truth, Taeyang said. Not everything, but enough. We tell them we are being watched. We tell them we are acting for the cameras. The crew needs to trust us. Captain Hana Lee spoke up from her corner. My team can continue monitoring their communications. If they suspect anything, we will know immediately. Good, Taeyang said, because this only works if they believe it completely. If they have even one doubt, they might change their plan. We lose our advantage. The next day, Taeyang addressed the fleet. He appeared on every screen and every ship. His face was calm and serious. Crew of the exploration fleet, I have important news. We have discovered that another species is watching us. They are testing us to see if we are weak. For the next 2 months, we will perform certain exercises. These exercises may seem strange. Trust me when I say everything has a purpose. Follow your orders exactly. Ask no questions where others might hear. And remember that we are humans. We do not scare easily. The speech was short but effective. The crew understood. They were part of something bigger now. They would play their roles perfectly. The deception began immediately. During weapon drills, human ships deliberately fired slowly. Their targeting systems took longer than necessary to lock on. Their missiles flew in predictable patterns. The Valkyrie drones recorded everything. During shield tests, the engineers reduced power output. The shields flickered and showed weak spots that did not actually exist. Again, the drones watched and recorded. During emergency drills, crews moved slower than their actual speed. Response times were deliberately bad. Communications seemed confused and poorly organized. Everything was a lie. But it was a beautiful lie, carefully crafted to look like truth. Meanwhile, Minho Song worked on a different project. He built a new communication system that the Valkyrie could not detect. It used quantum encryption, a technology that was almost impossible to break or even notice. How does it work? Yuna asked, watching him install the equipment. Minho smiled. He loved explaining technology. Quantum particles are connected across space. When we change one particle here, its partner changes instantly, even light years away. The Valkyrie cannot intercept it because there is nothing to intercept. The information never travels through space. That sounds like magic. Science often looks like magic to people who do not understand it, Minho said. The Valkyrie do not have this technology. To them, our secret messages will be invisible. With the quantum communicators in place, Taeyang could now contact Earth Command without the Valkyrie knowing. He sent a simple message. Need reinforcements. Send everything you can. Keep it quiet. The response came back within hours. Understood. 3 carrier groups departing tomorrow will arrive via long route. No one will see them coming, Taeyang smiled. The trap was coming together perfectly. While the fleet continued its performance, Captain Hana Lee took the Silent Watcher deeper into Valkyrie space. It was dangerous work. If they were caught, the Valkyrie would know humans were spying. The entire plan would fail. But Hana was very good at not being caught. She moved from shadow to shadow, hiding behind asteroids and dead moons. Her ship drifted with engine power at minimum, almost invisible. She found what she was looking for near the Tarantus Nebula. Valkyrie warships, dozens of them hiding in the darkness. They were massive vessels covered in weapons and armor. Each ship could fight 10 human vessels and win. Or so the Valkyrie thought. Hana's sensor officer counted them carefully. 47 warships, 30 cruisers and 17 dreadnoughts. They are arranged in a sphere formation around the nebula entrance. The moment we enter, they can attack from all directions. Record their exact positions, Hana ordered. Every ship, every weapon system. I want to know where every missile launcher points. They worked for 6 hours mapping the Valkyrie fleet. Then Hana noticed something else. A flagship larger than the others, positioned at the center of the formation. It was covered in communications equipment. That is their command ship, she said quietly. Their leader is there, watching everything. Her communication officer suddenly went pale. Captain, they are sending new orders. I am reading the transmission now. What do they say? They are confirming the attack date. Overlord Thraxus himself signed the order. He says the humans are weak and disorganized. The surveillance shows poor tactics and old equipment. He expects an easy victory. Hana felt satisfaction warm her chest. The deception was working. Send everything back to the Admiral, and let us get out of here before they notice us. Back on the flagship, Taeyang reviewed Hana's report with Yuna and Jinwoo. They studied the hologram showing the Valkyrie fleet positions. 47 ships, Yuna said. That is a lot. How many ships are we getting from Earth? Jinwoo asked. Taeyang pulled up another display. 3 carrier groups. That gives us 90 ships total. We will outnumber them 2-1. But they do not know that, Yuna said, understanding. They think they outnumber us. Exactly. And that is not all. Taeyang pointed to the nebula on the map. They chose this location because it blocks sensors. They think it gives them an advantage. But we have been studying nebulas for 50 years. We know how to see through them. They do not. Jinwoo was starting to smile. So when we enter the nebula, we will see them perfectly. But they will be blind. Not completely blind, Taeyang corrected. We want them to see our ships. We want them to attack. But they will not see our reinforcements hiding just outside the nebula. They will not see our real strength. Yuna studied the formation. Her mind was already planning the battle. We can surround them. They will be trapped inside their own trap. That is the idea, Taeyang agreed. But we need perfect timing. The reinforcements must arrive at the exact moment the Velkhari commit to their attack. Too early and they will detect the new ships. Too late and we take unnecessary damage. How do we coordinate that? Jinwoo asked. Very carefully, Taeyang said. Commander Park, you will spend the next month planning this battle. I want simulations, hundreds of them. I want every possible scenario mapped out. I want backup plans for the backup plans. Yuna straightened. Yes, sir. I will not let you down. I know you will not. Taeyang looked at all of them. This will work. The Velkhari think they are hunting us. They do not realize they are walking into a demonstration. We will show them what humanity can do when properly motivated. The weeks passed slowly. Every day the human fleet continued its performance. Clumsy drills, weak shields, poor communication. The Velkhari drones watched and recorded. Their reports went back to Overlord Thraxus, who grew more confident each day. The humans were perfect victims, weak, disorganized, and completely unaware of their danger, or so he believed. In truth, the humans were counting down the days until they could stop pretending and show their real capabilities. The stage was set. The actors knew their roles. Soon the curtain would rise on the greatest military surprise in human history. The stars looked the same as they always did. Lieutenant Jinwoo Choi stared at his screen in the darkened bridge of the exploration ship. Something felt wrong. He could not explain it, but his gut told him they were being watched. 3 hours ago, his sensors picked up a strange signal. It was brief, barely a second long. Most people would ignore it. Jinwoo was not most people. He spent 6 years studying signal patterns at the academy. He knew when something did not belong. He ran the data through his systems again. The computer showed nothing unusual. But Jinwoo trusted his instincts more than he trusted computers. He saved the data and walked to the Admiral's quarters. Admiral Taeyang Kim was reading reports when Jinwoo knocked. The Admiral was a calm man in his 50s. He had gray hair at his temples and sharp eyes that missed nothing. People said he could see 3 moves ahead in any situation. Come in, Taeyang said without looking up. Jinwoo entered and handed him the tablet. Sir, I found something strange. It might be nothing, but I wanted you to see it. Taeyang studied the data for a long moment. His expression did not change, but his eyes grew more focused. When did this happen? 3 hours ago. Sector 7 near the asteroid field. The Admiral set down the tablet. Good work, Lieutenant. This is a surveillance drone. Someone is watching us. Jinwoo felt his stomach tighten. Should we destroy it? No. Taeyang stood and walked to the window. Outside, stars stretched endlessly. If we destroy it, they will know we found it. They will change their plans. We need to understand what they want. What do you want me to do? Nothing. Act normal. Let them think we are blind. Meanwhile, we will watch them watching us. Taeyang smiled slightly. Call Captain Hana Lee. Tell her to prepare the Silent Watcher for a quiet mission. 2 days later, the Silent Watcher left the main fleet. Captain Hana Lee commanded the smallest ship in their group. It was built for stealth, not combat. Its engines were quiet, and its hull absorbed sensor scans like a sponge absorbed water. Hana was 32 years old and had spent half her life in space. She was small and quick, with sharp features and eyes that never stopped moving. Her crew said she could smell danger before it arrived. Take us to the coordinates, she told her pilot. Slow and quiet. If anyone asks, we are checking the asteroid field for minerals. The Silent Watcher drifted through space like a ghost. Hana watched her screens carefully. After 6 hours, she found what she was looking for. Small objects no bigger than a car floating in the darkness. They were covered in sensor equipment and transmitters. Surveillance drones, her sensor officer whispered. At least 20 of them. They are watching the fleet. Hana leaned forward. Can you trace their signal? The officer worked for several minutes. Yes, they are sending data to a relay station 3 systems away. The relay is sending it somewhere beyond our range. What are they watching? Everything. Ship movements, weapon systems, shield strength, response times. They are studying us like scientists study animals. Hana felt cold anger in her chest. Someone was planning something bad. Record everything. I want to know every signal, every frequency, every transmission, and stay hidden. They must not know we found them. Back on the flagship, Commander Yuna Park studied Hana's report. Yuna was the tactical officer, responsible for planning battles and defense strategies. She was brilliant at seeing patterns. Her mind worked like a computer, but faster. She stood in the war room with Admiral Taeyang and Jinwoo. Holographic displays showed the drone positions around the fleet. This is sophisticated, Yuna said. They have been watching us for at least 3 weeks, maybe longer. They know our patrol routes, our standard procedures, our response times. Who are they? Jinwoo asked. The technology matches the Velkari Dominion, Yuna said. They are a military empire, very aggressive. They test every new species they meet. Taeyang nodded slowly. They are planning an attack. They want to test human strength. They think we are easy prey. Should we call for reinforcements? Yuna asked. Not yet. If we call for help, they will see the ships coming. They will know we are prepared. Taeyang walked around the hologram, studying it from all angles. We need to let them think their plan is working. We need to be patient. Jinwoo looked worried. Sir, that means we have to act normal while they plan to attack us. The crew will be in danger. The crew is already in danger, Taeyang said quietly. The question is whether we face that danger blind or prepared. I choose prepared. He turned to Yuna. Start gathering intelligence. I want to know everything about the Velkari. Their ships, their weapons, their tactics. And I want to know where they will attack us. How will we know that? Taeyang smiled. Because we will watch them as carefully as they watch us. Lieutenant Choi, work with Captain Lee. Find their communication networks. Listen to their plans. If they want to study us, we will study them better. Over the next week, the Silent Watcher became a silent spy. Hana and her crew followed the Velkari drone's signals back to their source. They found relay stations, communication satellites, and finally encrypted transmissions from Velkari Military Command. Jinwoo worked 20 hours a day breaking the codes. The Velkari encryption was strong but not perfect. Human computers had advantages the Velkari did not know about. Slowly, message by message, he began to understand their language. One night he burst into Taeyang's quarters without knocking. Sir, I got it. I broke their code. Taeyang was awake immediately. Show me. Jinwoo brought up the messages. They were orders from someone called Overlord Thraxis. He commanded a large fleet hidden near a place called the Tarantis Nebula. The orders were clear. Wait for the human fleet to enter the nebula, then attack from all sides. Destroy or capture the ships. Take prisoners for study when, Taeyang asked, 3 months from now. Our patrol route will take us through that area. They chose the perfect spot. The nebula blocks sensors and communications. We would be blind and alone. Taeyang read the messages carefully. Then he began to smile. It was not a happy smile. It was the smile of a man who just found an advantage. 3 months, he said softly. That gives us plenty of time. Time for what, sir? Time to prepare the perfect surprise. They want to trap us. Good, we will walk right into their trap. But we will bring some friends they do not know about. Taeyang stood and clasped Jinwoo's shoulder. Excellent work, Lieutenant. Now comes the hard part. We must act like we know nothing. We must let them think their plan is perfect. Can you do that? Jinwoo nodded, though his hands were shaking. Yes, sir. Good. Because if they suspect we know, they will change everything. Patience, Lieutenant. Patience is our greatest weapon now. Outside the window, the stars continued their eternal dance. The surveillance drones watched the human fleet, recording everything. But they did not know that the humans were watching back. The game had begun and only one side knew all the rules.